Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Sunday preview, protect the yields. It's a big week for Warhammer 40,000, with releases for 4 separate factions. Most especially the resurgent Leagues of Votann, who return with 8 new datasheets and 6 precious new boxes of plastic. They're joined by a surprise made-to-order offering from Old World. 3 units of classic metal Bretonian infantry return for 9 days only. Alright, so very cool. We got the Leagues of Votann and presumably some Space Marines. The Leagues of Votann are back with an epic new Codex, arriving in both regular and collector's editions. This is 144 pages of pure unadulterated kin, and now featuring added Ironkin compadres. You get 21 datasheets and 5 detachments, feeding into a new army rule named Prioritized Efficiency. Units collect yield points by capturing and protecting objectives to unlock powerful combat bonuses. Alright, so we got a complete new rework of the Votann army rule. Definitely looking forward to this. On top of this, there's a new combat patrol, Baneslayer Bulwark, as well as comprehensive crusade rules, painting guides, galleries of miniatures, and lashings of brand new lore for a faction that's still mysterious to most in the galaxy. The collector's edition features a soft touch cover, unique cover art, and a ribbon bookmark, and teal foil edges. Alright, so here we can see the standard codex, and then of course the special edition codex. Nice cover art on these. Both are going to have the exact same contents. Both are going to have the digital code for the Warhammer app, but the collector's edition just a little bit nicer of a presentation. Alright, so first we have Buri Aegnirssen, brand new Votann character. Before they returned to the Galactic stage a few years ago, it was whispered that the Leagues of Votann had been devoured by Hive Fleet Leviathan. Rumors of their demise turned out to have been greatly exaggerated, but the Great Devourer did not go entirely hungry. Buri Aegnirssen is a rage-filled sole survivor of the Emberg Aegnir block, a scarred vigilante who now plies the Leagues, fighting the ever-present menace. So we got a Tyranid Hunter character, very cool. Buri is a new character who fights with a unique Darkstar glaive dubbed Bane, dealing 5 Strength 12 or 10 Strength 6 attacks in combat. A lone operative who returns from the dead on a 2+ once per game. So very cool. Definitely looks like he's going to slap in combat. Going to have some Tyranid Hunter rules, I'm sure. He's got lone op and then also a 2+ to come back to life once per game. So definitely some nice rules right here. Nice model. Very cool. And next we have the Arkanyst Evaluator. So here we can see him with his mad scientist face. Definitely not a huge fan of the paint job on the face. It looks a little bit cartoony. And then also with the helmeted head as well. The Arkanysts are tinkers and experimenters, amongst the matter members of the Science Guild, who bring experimental weaponry to the battlefield. Their transmatter inverters have 3 increasingly dangerous modes of fire, both to the foe and the fire. But when they work, they work. The kit comes with 2 head options, bare and helmeted. So another cool character right here. Definitely nice to see Votann getting all this love. Alright, and then we have the Memnyr Strategist. No matter how many dimensions you might think that you're playing chess in, the Memnyr Strategist is playing in 1 or 2 more. This metallic mastermind is our first Ironkin character, Don't Tell Mars, and a tactical genius who is always one step ahead of the game. His already impressive computational power is boosted by the Cognitor Mantle swirling behind him, processing yet more deadly permutations. The Memnyr can join units of Ironkin Steeljacks, allowing them to use the Overwatch and Heroic Intervention strat for free and helping you manipulate your yield points. So very cool, definitely nice looking model right here, and it sounds like he's going to have some awesome rules as well. And next we have the Cthonian Earthshakers. So far we've seen the Cthonian mining guilds as the shirtless shock troops of the Oath Band. Now, however, the rippling bare biceps of the Berserk are joined by a few of their circumspect colleagues, sensible enough to have donned armored tank tops for the occasion. These are the Earthshaker crews, who man subterranean artillery with 2 ordnance options. Some of them still carry plasma weapons, so don't get any ideas. This box contains 2 Earthshakers, which come with 2 barrel options representing each ordnance, and interchangeable base troops. The crew have interchangeable heads, bodies, and left arms, while the Iron King can switch between ammo types. This box includes the League of Votann transfer sheet comprising 555 decals. So again, awesome new unit right here. Very cool. I like in the one he's like loading up the ammo, and then we got a couple of different profiles and some awesome loot. Couple of different profiles and some awesome new crew. And next we have the Ironkin Steeljacks. These are the abominable intelligences the Adeptus Mechanicus warned you about. Rangy paragons of martial prowess used to anchor the battle line or smash into the breach. With a 2+ save and Preymark crest that grants precision when attacking enemies entrenched upon an objective, you can arm them either with a heavy Volkite disintegrator or Autarch pattern bolters and plasma swords. There's a Steeljack for every occasion. So very cool. We got a couple of different weapon options, one for a little more shooty and one for shooty and fighty. 2+ armor save, precision when shooting at something on objectives. These guys sound like they're going to have some awesome rules. And then of course you can attach your character to give them some nice buffs. And here we can see the optional assembly with the swords and then one armed with a fist. This box contains 3 Steeljacks with enough arms to outfit them all with either loadout. One can be built as the Thane, while they can all also exchange their plasma swords for concussion gauntlets. Alright, so very cool. They're going to have like some heavy pistols and then either swords or gauntlets, or alternatively you could have just the big gun. Definitely a big fan of these models. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And then we have the Kapricus. I absolutely love this little thing. The Kapricus is a rugged light vehicle used by the hardy Ironkin, doughty rangers who scout ahead of their hold seeking the tastiest claims. It can be built in two configurations, the Capricious Defender or the Capricious Carrier. The former mounts a Magna Rail Cannon or high-las rotary cannon on a turret alongside twin Magna Coil autocannons, while the latter can ferry 5 Ironkin Jaegers, offering fire support for its Magna Coil autocannons. And then we also have like some sort of like grenade contraption here as well. Very, very cool. Definitely a big fan of this kit. And then here we can see the alternative build option. This one has a transport. And then presumably if it can only hold 5 Jaegers, you're going to start 5 of them in this. And then it's going to split the squad similar to the Sagittars. So you'll have 5 Jaegers out front infiltrating and then 5 in this bad boy as well. This kit has 3 turret options split across 2 configurations and 6 interchangeable heads, including 2 Ironkin. It also includes a Leagues of Votann transfer sheet with 555 decals. Alright, and then we have a new combat patrol for the Leagues of Votann. Baneslayer's Bulwark is a new combat patrol for Warhammer 40,000. It's a complete force in a box for a smaller game mode, with a perfect core for a new army project. Vin Baneslayer is the Einherjar champion leading hard-hitting infantry force of 5 Einherjar Hearthguard, 3 Brokir Thunderkin, and 10 Hearthkin Warriors. There's a specific way to build each unit for games of combat patrol, but they all have numerous loadouts and cosmetic options. This set includes 2 555 decal transfer sheets. So nice new combat patrol right here, led by the E-Champ. Very cool. And then we had the Leagues of Votann dice and data cards. Round out your oath band with these optional extras. A set of 16 sea green dice with a faction icon on the 6 face and a pack of 26 quick reference data cards comprising every data sheet in the faction, including for combat patrol and the army rule. Alright, so some nice looking dice right here. Definitely a big fan of these with the Leagues of Votann faction symbol on the 6 face. Unfortunately, the dice boycott continues. Alright, and then moving over to Space Marines, we had the brand new Vulkan He'stan. And here we can see him with the optional helmeted or unhelmeted head. Very, very cool new model. Finally getting Primaris upscaled and a nice sculpt right here with the fire and all the cool stuff that makes Vulkan so awesome. The Forge Father continues to search for his Primarch's Panoply with a dominant new miniature, equipped with a bolt pistol and the Gauntlet of Forge and the Spear of Vulkan. He can be attached to Assault Intercessor squads, Company Heroes, Infernus squads, and Tactical squads. A single post model with 2 head options, bare and helmeted. So absolutely awesome. I will definitely be picking up this bad boy. And then to go along with it, we have Combat Patrol Salamanders. The Pyroclasm Assault Force is a new combat patrol for the Salamanders. A complete force for use in smaller Warhammer 40,000 game mode or beginnings of a larger unit. Go in weapons hot with Adrex Agathon and Invader ATV, 3 Eradicators, 5 Assault Intercessors, and 10 Infernus Marines. As always, many of these units have cosmetic options and variable loadout, though the Combat Patrol rules have set constructions. Alright, so very cool. We are obviously leaning in on the Fire and Melta. Adrex Agathon is awesome. You got Vulkan to go along with them. A great start to a Salamander's army. And then we had the Salamanders Dice Set. Show your devotion to the Salamanders with this set of 16 Salamander dice cast in fiery yellow with black pips and the chapter icon on the 6 face. Yeah, not a big fan of these. I guess they're alright, but of course the dice boycott continues. And then moving over for Chaos, we have the World Eaters Slaughterbound. Available on his own for the first time, the Slaughterbound is an exalted champion of the World Eaters, a muscle-bound murder machine who has achieved the body beautiful with this ultimate PED, a dose of bloodthirster possession. He can lead units of 8-pound and exalted 8-pound, whipping an already unstable bunch of lads into such a frenzy that one of them returns from the dead every turn. He has a choice of 2 heads and an optional icon of corn on his armor. So a very cool model right here, available individually now, cool tactical rock, awesome pose, and amazing rules with the ability to bring back an 8-pound every turn. And then we have the Death Guard Lord of Poxes. The Lord of Poxes is the other great champion of Chaos to receive the gift of a separate release. But unlike Khorne's Yoke Chosen, he doesn't care about his body at all. No, this guy keeps his armor on so he can brew up the foulest miasmas imaginable, surround him and a unit of Plague Marines he joins. So again, another beautiful sculpt right here, available on his own. He grants the Lone Op 18 inches to the squad he joins, so obviously very strong ability. Very cool model. Definitely nice to see these guys on their own. And then we had the Warhammer Commemorative Series Captain Centos. Captain Centos has returned to celebrate a major Warhammer store milestone across the world. The single post character miniature comes with a choice of 2 head options, and while he's painted as an Ultramarine, the figure itself can be used by any Space Marine chapter. And then we have for the Kingdom of Bretonnia some made-to-order models, so some old metal models coming back on a made-to-order basis. So if you are after any of these, make sure to grab them up in that limited window. And then we have from Black Library, The Lords of Silence, illustrated and annotated edition. The galaxy has changed. Armies of chaos march across the Dark Imperium, amongst them the Death Guard, servants of the Plague God. But shadows of the past haunt these traitors. Chris Wright's epic novel returns in a fabulous new illustrated and annotated edition, with new illustrations, author commentary, and an afterword. And then we also have in paperback The High Call's Oath. And we also have Final Deployment in paperback. And then we have Death Worlder in paperback as well. Alright, so very cool. Lots of awesome stuff coming this week, specifically for Warhammer 40k. Obviously, super exciting for the Leagues of Votann as they'll be getting their Codex and a bunch of new kits. We had the individual release of a couple of characters for the Chaos Marines. And then, of course, we got a brand new character for the Salamanders as well as a Combat Patrol. So it's definitely going to be a big week for pre-releases. Let me know what you're going to be picking up this week, what you're most excited about. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I am definitely going to be picking up a bunch of this stuff, and I'm out of here.